then I'm gonna start going after the Ursaluna. He doesn't even outspeed me, so I get a crit on the Ursaluna. Holy shit. One-shotting him. That's huge. Do I outspeed him with Scarf? I do. We're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty damn good so far. What is up, everybody? Back with some more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Regulation H VGC. Skuntank's a really cool mon that actually only has one weakness and a really cool typing that not many Pokemon actually have, being the Dark Poison typing. Another mon that actually has this typing is a Lowland Muck, but even then you don't really see it that much apart from like really gimmicky, like moody Smeargle teams that spam evasion with Minimize. So, well, I seen this team and I think it was really cool, kind of a more of a unique team. There's also some other really cool stuff on here with like Breloom, which I haven't seen at all, and like Fast, Scarf, Indeedee, and like Como and a few other things. So mainly a team around Skuntank though, so wanted to feature this team for you guys. It's a team by Banana Man. There's a rental for this team up in the corner. There is no Pokepaste for this team though, so if you guys don't want to use the team, rental code only for in-game use. But apart from that, I'm gonna kind of run through this team and then we're gonna have some games to see how it actually goes. Kind of a cool team. I don't know, I don't expect the team to do incredibly well. I kind of have low expectations, but maybe you can prove me wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but also when you guys are seeing this, I do not know if I'm going to be continuing like the daily uploads, just mainly because I just don't have enough time to like bulk record stuff and like the time to upload daily going forward. At least when you guys are seeing this, probably like starting after this video goes live, I think I'm going to have like 1 or 2 Overwatch videos going live before this. Maybe, I'm not 100% sure at this point, but at least when I'm recording this, that's when it's planned to go up. So probably going to be like the last video you guys see before I go back to like every other day uploads going forward. So I still try to plan on like uploading twice, usually on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, but apart from that, I'm probably just going to be uploading like every other day throughout the week going forward again. So I'm also kind of running low on teams. There's a lot of teams still being posted, but like there really isn't that many like really crazy, unique Regulation H teams. So I don't really have enough teams to really feature for you guys daily going forward. I have enough teams to feature for you guys like every other day, that's fine. I still have enough for that, but not for like every single day because I just go through so many teams and I just don't have enough to really feature. And you guys probably don't want to see like copy-paste, cookie-cutter rental team number 10 like every single day, like almost the same thing with like a lot of the identical sets, like identical Pokemon. Rillaboom, Incineroar, Palafin team every other fucking day. So like that for example, so I'm assuming you guys want to see more of the unique teams kind of like this one and a few of the other ones I'm going to be featuring on the next few days. I also have a few other teams planned, so if you guys do not want to miss those, I got some really cool teams. I also got another one of my teams on the way that I'm currently building that I've been having a really fun time using. Probably one of my best teams. I keep saying that, but it's actually another team that actually ended up getting me even more results than my past one that I uploaded here about a week and a half ago. So without further ado, I'm done ranting. Let's hop into this team. I want to break it down. We're going to hop some games. I got the Skuntank on this team with the Aftermath Citrus Berry. It's mainly more of a supportive Skuntank. You got the Taunt there. It's a relatively fast, non-prankster blocked Taunt, so you can use it on the other Dark types and that type of thing, so it's pretty cool. You got Night Slash there for decent damage, and then mainly Helping Hand. Just mainly going to be throwing this thing out alongside something, going for a Taunt, and kind of just trying to boost their damage. That's kind of what it really goes for on this team, alongside either the Sylveon or the Indeedee or the Como once it starts getting set up. You got Throat Spray, Como with Terra Ghost. You also got the Terra Ghost, Terra Blast, which is kind of cool. Mainly hit some of the other Ghost types, I think. Either it's for the like Psy Spam teams. It's one of those two. So pretty cool set with the Clangor's Soul. You got Spec Sylveon, which I'm really a huge fan of. I think Sylveon in this format, if you guys are going to see as well, I actually have one of my own teams. Spoiler alert, that actually has Sylveon on it with like one of the main players that I built the team around. I think Sylveon's really underrated, especially like offensive Sylveon. A lot of people are like using really bulky like Calm Mind sets and a bunch of other random shit. I think offensive Sylveon's fucking crazy. Really, really good. We're going to see how that it does with the choice specs. Terrifier. You got Scarf Indeedee Male, which is the more offensive version out of the both Indeedees, and I think it's also a little faster. I think it has like 85 speed instead of 75 or whatever the other one has, so kind of cool. You also have this Scarf Trick there, maybe try to shut something down. Sash Breloom, which I have not seen at all. You think Breloom, being a fighting type in this format when there really isn't that many good fighting types, would be really good, but the main problem with it is just so slow and it's just so frail. And especially when you have a lot of flying type coverage, stuff like Talonflame and a few other things being used. Dragonite that's run Terran Fly, Gyarados. I just don't think it's that good. So we're going to see how it does on this team. Its Focus Sash, I think, is probably the best way you could run it. And maybe try to do something. So we're going to see how it goes. What else do we have? We have the Magmar on the team as well. Just mainly with the Follow Me, so you can try to get Flame Body procs. While something sets up on this team where it just does a bunch of damage. Mainly alongside the Breloom or like the Como. But it can probably work with like everything on this team. Apart from, I guess, maybe the Skuntank, because it doesn't do much damage. But we'll see how it does. Let's hop into some games with this team. Alright, we're here with the match. My opponent's running the Tyranitar, Excadrill, Primarina, Sinistcha, Rotom Heat, and Dragonite. Haven't seen Rotom at all. Kind of one of those mons that I think is pretty good, but nobody's really using for whatever reason. I just think mainly because a lot of its forms get destroyed by rain. I think that's the main reason why. Like, Heat form gets destroyed by rain, like everything is weak to like Hurricane and like a lot of the rain abusers that are currently really common. I think that's the main reason why nobody really runs it. You'd think it'd be better because it's part electric, but just kind of too slow for a lot of those teams. What do I want to bring here? I mean, Breloom doesn't look too bad. Max speed too. I mean, I have Force Palm and stuff. I think the main issue is though, like, he's gonna just outspeed me every single time. That's the main problem I'm gonna have here. I don't know how I can actually put something to sleep, especially with like Sandstorm damage. I'm gonna bring Como-O, Skuntank lead. I'll bring the Indeedee in the back, and then I'm gonna bring the Sylveon. I don't know. I mean, it's an okay game for Breloom. I just get walled by Sinistcha and Primarina too, which ain't really the... I mean, I don't get walled by Primarina, but it usually outspeeds. Probably outspeed me or live whatever I have to throw at it and just knock me into oblivion. I don't know, I could go for Clangor Soul here. My problem is, like, I have nothing for Earthquake spam. Like, my entire team, I have nothing that resists Earthquake. I guess Breloom does, but I don't want to be taking 2 Earthquakes. It's the main issue with this team. Do I just Clangor Soul here? I could. Part of me really wants to, but at the same time I want to go for, like, Aura Sphere, but I think he's going to go, like, Terra Flying on this turn. I'm going to go Terra Ghost, and I'm going to go for Clangor Soul here. And I'm just going to Protect. I'm gonna go Terra Flying here. I don't think he goes for knockoff. I think he just Rock Slides. There's not really any point to really going for knockoff here. There's the Terra Flying. That's why I didn't want to go for Aura Sphere turn 1. I think the Skuntank's just gonna drop. About to get absolutely destroyed on this next turn. Do I even take an Earthquake? Wow, that does so much. I think I might actually die in a Sandstorm. I might actually. And I don't even know if I outspeed him at +1. If he outspeeds me under Sand still, like, this is pretty much worthless. Because now I'm pretty much dead to Sand. I got like 2 turns of Sand before I'm dead. Oh, doesn't matter. It does not matter. He doesn't even go after the Skuntank. He just doubles into the Como, so I lose. There's no way I win now at all. I don't know how I win. That's the problem with Breloom too. Like, everything's running Terra Flying. It's just such a bad typing currently because, like, even Tyranitar, something that you're normally good into, he runs Terra Flying and usually runs Terra Blast that just one-shots you. And if you run Focus Sash, you just get killed anyways, even if you live. The best thing you can do is maybe outspeed it and go for Spore, but then it's usually paired alongside Excadrill anyways. That either spams Rock Slide or Earthquake for chip damage. It's just such a shitty mon currently. I mean, it's not shitty, but like it's just so difficult to make it work. What do I even do here? I mean, I'll go into a deity. I don't know what I even do. What do I even do here? Can't go into Sylveon. I'll get bopped by an Iron Head. I think what I'm forced to do is just go for like... I mean, I could go for Trick, but I don't know if it really matters. I'm just going to Expanding Force. And then I'm going to hope that it actually does enough damage. Get a KO on something. I don't know how I win. The team's really weak to Sand. This team has no ground immunities or like anything that to really deal with ground types. Ground spam, like this type of stuff. Wow, it does so much. Even outspeeds me being Choice Scarf too, so... That actually makes me think he might also be Choice, but he also gets double speed, so maybe that's why. Does nothing. Like, he knows the Skuntank's not even a threat either, because he just gets one-shot up by Earthquake pretty much. So he just keeps doubling into everything else on this team that is not the Skuntank. Like, I don't know how I win now. I'm pretty much dead to Sandstorm. I don't know. We'll see if he's actually Scarfed Excadrill. I don't think he is, though. I think he is clicking Earthquake because it just does a fuck ton of damage. He knows he kind of just wins the game at this point. I'll Hyper Voice if I somehow live, and then I'm in a Helping Hand. If I somehow live, maybe I'll get a double KO, but I think there's no way I win at this point in the game. There's the Iron Head. See, he's like, I live. Do I get flinched? Never mind, he just outspeeds me. Wow, the Skuntank lives on 4. The one thing that does nothing this match. I legit do nothing but spam Helping Hand. I just got fucking swept by an Excadrill Sand team, y'all. That is awful. You know there's something wrong with this team if you're getting swept by a fucking Excadrill Tyranitar team. Don't get me wrong, like, that combo's still pretty good, but this team has legit nothing at all to deal with this. This team is incredibly weak to Sand teams. I went against another Sand team too in my testing games. It never had Excadrill on it, but it had Houndstone and it had there was some other Houndstone. It was Lycanroc with Sand Rush, and like I had really struggled versus that team too, and I even lost. I almost won the game, but towards the end it ended up becoming a 2v1 because the guy got a lucky crit on me and ended up flinching with Rock Slide on the same turn. So I ended up losing, but I know this team's really weak to your Sand teams. Really, really weak. Major flaw with this team. Gonna have to talk about that later on and see how this team does in another match. We're here in another match. My opponent's running the Blood Moon, Ursaluna, Mousehold, Annihilate. Oh, copy paste garbage. Sableye, Dragonite, and Frigoraph. You know, normally this actually wouldn't be too bad of a matchup for Skuntank, but like half his team just one-shots me pretty much. Or just outspeeds me and one-shots me. Like, what do I even do here? I guess Breloom ain't too bad here. He just gets sped by everything, though. That's the main issue. I think what I'm doing is I'm gonna lead Indeedee. That way he can't go for, like, prankster shit. Indeedee, Breloom this match. I want to bring Skuntank, I really do, but I feel like it just does do nothing this match. Especially, like, I don't know, it depends what I really pair it alongside. If I bring it with, like, Sylveon, maybe with, like, Helping Hand boost, it ain't too bad here. I'm gonna try it. I think that's the only way I can maybe try to do something. I don't know, especially after my testing games, I do not think this team is really that good. I've been really struggling. 5 testing games, I don't know how many matches you guys have seen so far. This might be your second or third game. A lot of flaws with this team. I think there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, which we'll talk about towards the end. I'm going to try to at least get one win with Phil. I have not won with this team once at all out of like all the games I've played, but we're going to try to at least get one win. I'm Scarfed, so what I can do here is I can go for Trick. Trick the Frigoraph on this turn, that'd be nice, and then I'm a Spore. Might just protect Earth Luna here, though. If I can trick him into Trick Room, that'd be really nice. And I can get a free Spore here, please. Free Spore, please. Mental Herb. Oh, that's perfect. Spore worked. That's huge. He's a Scarf Dazzling Gleam. Whatever. Whatever. He gets the crit. I don't know how much that matters. Does he outspeed me with the Scarf, though? I don't know if he does. If he's min speed, I don't think he even does. I'm just going to Expanding Force here, do some damage, and I'm going to put the Frigoraph to sleep, and then I'm going to start going after the Ursaluna. He doesn't even outspeed me, so... I get a crit on the Ursaluna, holy shit. One-shotting him. That's huge. Do I outspeed him with Scarf? I do. We're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty damn good so far. Depends what the other two Mons are, though. If he has, like, Mousehold, Annihilate in the back, we can still maybe lose. He can maybe bring the game back. Depends what he really has. Like, anything with Safety Goggles could shut down the Spore spam. Sableye, okay. I'm fine with that because I have Terrain up, so you can't really, like, spam Prankster shit onto me. So I'm fine with that. I'm just going to Dazzling Gleam here. I'm going to Dazzling Gleam. I could go for Spore onto the Sableye, too, if I really wanted to, but... I'm just going to Force Palm to get this Frigoraph out of here. I'm just going to start going for damage. There's the Light Screen. Kinda sucks. It just does. That does nothing. Force Palm does nothing. He gets the turn 2 Wake Up. That's unlucky. Good thing is, though, I'm going to go right into Sylveon here. I'm just going to start spamming Hyper Voice. I think that's what I started doing. I don't know what his last Mon is. He's setting up Light Screen for something. I think if he has a last Mon, it's probably Dragonite, if I were to guess. So I think that's what I'm just going to go with here. I'm going to Dazzling Gleam again. And then I'm just going to spam Hyper Voice. I think he's setting it up for the Dragonite. Either the Dragonite's weakness policy or it's like a Dragon Dance multi-skill Dragonite. I think that's what he's trying to set up for here late game. He outspeeds me with the Scarf. Double KO, so we're looking pretty good here. I still have Skuntank in the back, which can maybe do something, I don't know. If I need to reset my terrain, I can switch out the Indeedee. Oh, he has an Annihilate. Okay, so you have to be Terrifier, right? You gotta be Terrifier. I'm an Expanding Force. I'm Expanding Force, and I'm just gonna Hyper Beam, or Hyper Voice. Guessing he's Terrifier. You're a Bug. Okay, I mean, that doesn't really matter, though, so that's fine. You're still catching a Hyper Voice here if you don't one-shot me with something. Expanding Force should do a shit ton of damage too, even behind a screen. That does over half. Bulk Up. The guy got greedy. I don't know if you even live this. I don't think you even live this, and you don't outspeed me, so that's game. He got greedy, y'all. He got greedy. Wow, I finally got a win, though. Finally got a win with this team. I think I'm like 1-4 or like 1-5 with this team so far now. Not really the best ratio, win-loss ratio, but whatever. I think my opponent just kind of choked there on the first turn, though. I don't know if he was going to plan to set up Trick Room, but like usually you protect the Ursaluna on turn 1. I don't know what the Ursaluna was going for there. Maybe it was a Calm Mind Ursaluna, which I've been seeing a little bit more. So maybe that he just tried to set up on me and he ended up getting put to sleep. I just think that Breloom had a pretty good matchup into his lead, and that's how we were able to get a lot of like free momentum there, just be able to dish out a bunch of damage, kind of just steamroll from that point forward. And like he ended up bringing Sableye, which did nothing under terrain really, apart from set up his screen. So that was also pretty good. Didn't really do much for him. It was way better than like Mousehold or like Dragonite, and he ended up bringing up Annihilate by itself for whatever reason. So, whatever. See you guys in one more match. Alright, we're going against Regulation H Rain team. Talonflame, Hisuian, Decidueye, Politoed, Rillaboom, Arclidon, and Basket Legion. Is this thing Terra Grass? I am Terra Grass. I don't know how much that really does though. I guess Terra Grass ain't too bad here. He doesn't have Pelipper, so that's a little bit better for me, I guess. I kind of just make myself weak to Talonflame, so I gotta be kind of careful. I'm gonna bring Magmar here. I think I'm gonna bring Magmar. What else do I want to bring? Magmar and DD lead, so that way I can have my... Actually, if he leads Rillaboom, that could be an issue. I'm gonna bring the DD in the back. That way, if he doesn't go for Fake Out, I can switch Drain. What else do I want to bring here? I can't bring Breloom because he has Talonflame and it gets wrecked by half his team. What else do I want to bring? I guess Como ain't too bad here. I'm going to lead Sylveon. I'm bringing the Indeedee in the back. I don't know if I even bring Skuntank here. It just doesn't do anything into his team at all. Does not do much here at all. I think I'm better off just bringing Como. I really am. Just mainly for Arclidon. Like, I need really something for Arclidon to do some damage. Otherwise, it just sits there and sets up all over me and I just lose. Does bring Talonflame, okay. Is this like a Tailwind, Hisuian, Decidueye? Is that what this shit is? Good thing is here I don't have to Terra on turn 1 either. I can kind of just go for like Follow Me here if I really want to. And I can actually Hyper Voice here as well, which would really be nice. So this ain't too bad. If he doesn't have Rillaboom here either, so it's like a really good lead for me. I don't have to Terra Grass turn 1 and I can kind of just get some free damage. Kind of maybe force a Terra out of the Decidueye on turn 1. Otherwise, I think he just gets one-shotted because his defenses are really bad. He has a chance of getting burned too if he goes after the Magmar here. I think I easily just tank 2 moves from this. Talonflame ain't that strong. Just a Brave Bird. Okay, that might be banded. That might be banded Brave Bird with how much that did. Oh, he's Life Orb, that's why. Leaf Blade, that does nothing. Can I get a burn? No burn. Decidueye is gone though, so that's nice. Get a shit ton of damage on the Talonflame, make it so he's not able to set up a priority Tailwind anymore. It's not bad. I'm assuming he has Politoed in the back and probably... Oh, he has Rillaboom, okay. Okay, I don't know how I feel about Rillaboom. The part of me wants to switch out here, actually, into the Indeedee on this turn to prevent a Fake Out. Because I think what he wants to do here is he wants to Brave Bird into the Sylveon. I think that's what he wants to do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch the Sylveon out into the Indeedee on this turn. And then I'm actually no, I don't want to do that. I want to go for Follow Me here. Follow Me, and then I'm going to switch the Sylveon out into the Indeedee here. Terra, okay. Terra Grass. Is he about to like hit me with like a Terra Grass Grassy Glide? Is that something I just dodged? Brave Bird, okay. I'm assuming I'm probably still dead here though. I mean, I got rid of his terrain, but I'm not going to take a Wood Hammer. Yeah, I'm not taking this. I ain't taking a Wood Hammer. I'm about to get knocked into oblivion. Goodbye. One-shotted on switching. I don't know. I'd rather have the Indeedee drop maybe, though. I think this Sylveon has a lot more use in this match. The only shitty thing is, like, I'm Specs, and, like, he outspeeds me 100%. It's just the main issue here. If I'm forced to Terra Fire, I think, on this turn. I think that's what I'm forced to do. I'm going to Terra Fire here, and I'm going to go for Hyper Voice. And then... I mean, he could go for Brave Bird here, but I think I just live whatever he has to throw at me. I don't know how much Brave Bird will do to the Como, though. I think I'm better off just going for damage. I think that's what I do here. I want to set up, I really do, but I just don't know how much health I'll have. That's the main problem. If I go too low on health, I'll just waste my turn. That is exactly why it just fucking one-shots me. I don't know how I win now, actually. It depends on his last mon, but like I don't think I one-shot him with Hyper Voice. Yeah, and considering that's resisted, that does over half. I think that's actually banded Rillaboom with how much damage that did. Yeah, you're not Assault Vest. Okay, there's a chance that we can maybe win. It depends on his last mon, though. If he has Politoed, I think we lose because of the Terra. If he has Arclet on, we have a slight chance of winning if he's not Assault Vest. If it's Basket Legion, we lose. Okay, Arclet on. There's a small chance I can maybe win here. It depends if he's AV. If he's Assault Vest, I think he wins, though. Or like Power Herb or Electric Shot, I think still wins the game for him. Just outspeeds with Body Press. Because I get him a... If I don't one-shot him, I give him a free boost, yeah. There's no way I win. Unless it happens to be a speed tie, I don't think I win here. Because he gets a +1 boost. I don't live this. That sucks. I haven't seen Choice Banded Rillaboom, though. That's a new one. I haven't seen that in a long time. I think the main issue with this team is, like, it just gets absolutely wrecked by, like, your really fast stuff. Like, Talonflame Choice, or, like, Life Orb Talonflame there just did so much damage for my opponent there. Like, it was just, before it went down, it was taking recoil on Life Orb, but he was just able to, like, one-shot the Como there, which was just so huge for him. Pretty much won him the game. Like, it just did so much damage the entire match. I think that's the main thing this team really struggles with, which we'll talk about right now. Alright, so I do think SKUNTANK is okay, but the reason why you don't see it at all is, like, it's just stats just aren't good enough. I don't think this thing has, like, a stat that's above base 100. Like, I think it has 90-something attack or something. I mean, I think the main thing that you're really going to be picking SKUNTANK for is the typing. Poison Dark typing is incredibly good because you only have one weakness to ground. You're neutral to Fairy and everything, but the problem with it is SKUNTANK just doesn't have the stats. Its abilities are okay, like passable, decent at best. Aftermath being like the best one to get some chip damage on going down, but I just don't think it's really that good. A really cool mon, maybe they'll give SKUNTANK a Mega going into Generation 10. I think that's another mon that's definitely a candidate for a Mega in my opinion. Give this thing a Mega Evolution going into Legends ZA or whatever the new games are, so I don't know. Another problem with this team, I think overall with this team, is like it's really, really slow. You have the Scarf and Deity there, but even then with Choice Scarf and Deity, you still get outsped by like a lot of your Tailwind teams or like your really fast teams. That's the main problem I think this team really has. A lot of stuff on here I would also kind of change. I feel like Breloom on this team just doesn't really do much at all. Like, I understand it's there for like the fire. I mean, you don't even have a water type on this team, that's another problem, but you have the fire grass stuff on this team. This team doesn't have a water type, which I think something maybe really needs. You got the Fairy Grass, or the Fairy Dragon stuff on this team. You have no Steel type either, so I don't know. I think that one of the things this team really needs is like a Fairy Dragon Steel core, or like a Fire Water Grass core. The Indeedee doesn't really do much. If you really want to get rid of the SKUNTANK, I think it'd be the main candidate to kind of get rid of for one of those type of things. But overall, the main thing I really struggle with this team is just getting outsped by like your really fast Tailwind teams, just getting overwhelmed with amounts of damage before you're able to really even do anything. Or they just set up on you. Like, this team's also really weak to Golden Go. I had 3 matches in a row in my testing games where I went against Nasty Plot Golden Go, and like 3 of those games I got, or like at least 2 of them I think I got swept by the nasty plot golden goal, and one of them I kind of brought the game back, but it was kind of due to luck, but I still ended up losing. My opponent kind of made some misplays too, but it seems also incredibly weak to golden goal, especially the most comments. It was like nasty plot setup variant with like leftovers, like more of a bulky, still fast, kind of like bulky variant of it. So really weak to that. You can't prevent that with Follow Me because it's a spread move and still does a shit ton of damage. You can't trick it because it's as good as gold. Half the stuff on this team you want to do to it, you can't taunt it. You can't go for Worry Seed. You can't do anything because its ability blocks everything you try to do with half the stuff on this team. So you either try to force the Terra, which you have really no Terra to really do much with, apart from Terra Fire on the Sylveon. And even then, if he's at +2, like +2 Make It Rain is like does like 75% depending on their build. So it does crazy amounts of damage. I think that's just the main problem of this team. A little bit too slow, and like the main Scarfer on this team doesn't hit nearly hard enough. And I just don't think it fits on the team really much at all. Like the Psychic Terrain's good to have, but at the same time, it just doesn't really do much for the team. I would actually just go back to the drawing board. I really would. I think what this team really needs is either get rid of the SKUNTANK or get rid of the Indeedee. Stick with the Fire, Water, Grass, throw a Water type onto this team, or stick with the Dragon, Fairy, Steel, and throw a Steel type on this team and kind of go from there, depending on what they really want to get rid of. I don't know, I just think this team's also a little bit too slow. I think that's the main issue. Like, it also requires a lot of setup. Like, the main thing that could be fast is the Como-O, but half the time you just take so much damage where Clangorous Soul just doesn't end up actually being much of use to you, because either you get outsped by priority if you didn't bring the Indeedee under terrain and get kills on the next turn anyways, or they still outspeed you, under like Tailwind most of the time, and you still get killed on the following turn anyways. So I don't know. You guys want to use the team rental in the corner? I do think it needs a lot of improvements though. I think this team is I also don't know why we have Worry Seed on the Rillaboom. I'm not 100% sure why that's on Rillaboom. Maybe it's to try to prevent Spore from like a Moongus or a Sleep Powder type stuff. I think maybe that's why it's on there. Apart from that, I do not know why Worry Seed's on the Breloom. So if anybody knows why, let me know in the comments down below. Or if the creator happens to see this video, let me know as well. Not 100% sure why it's on there. I think you would be better off using that move slot for like something else, I think, or like a better grass type move. Because you have no grass move on this Breloom, which kind of sucks. So I don't know. Apart from that, if you guys want to use the team, maybe you'll do better than I did. I think I only won like one of my games. I did like 6 or 7 matches with this team, and I went like 1-6 or 1-7. I only won like 1 match out of all the matches I did, including testing games. Not very good. There's a few games I had some decently close games, but like they were really close just mainly because I got some pretty good luck, or my opponents made a few misplays. That's the only reason why they were close, but I still ended up losing. So I think overall it's more of a team problem. I know I tried playing the team as I could. It feels like it just doesn't have enough tools, and like its options are always just really limited going against a lot of the current stuff in the format. I think that's the main problem. I think it needs to be either rebuilt or some major stuff to be changed. So I'm not trying to shit on the team as well, like, or the creator of the team at all, but like when people are posting their teams, usually they want constructive criticism or like feedback on how the team would be improved. That's kind of what I'm just trying to do. I do that with every single team. So hopefully he doesn't get mad, or anybody that makes teams get mad at me for trying to give feedback. If you don't want feedback for your team, don't post your team. Don't want people to use it, don't post the codes or the paste for the team. Simple as that, I guess. Hope you guys enjoy it. Leave a like, subscribe to the video. Also leave a comment down below. It really helps out the videos and the algorithm. Apart from that, I'm out of here. Peace out, everybody.